Hey y'all, welcome to Craftable Things. I'm Patrice, and today, as y'all see, we have another printer setup that we are about to do. Alright y'all, y'all know how much I love opening up new machines and trying them out. Well, today is no different. Today we are going to be turning this Epson Ecotank 15000 into an Eco-Solvent printer. And if this is your first time hearing about Eco-Solvent, it is similar to when we're doing print then cut. Only thing is that the ink is water resistant and fade resistant, and it lasts for about 3 years, so it doesn't last forever. All of my research tells me that you have about 3 good years before that ink starts to break down. And today we are going to be using some Eco-Solvent ink from the Best Uni. A link will be listed below in the description. I use the Epson Ecotank 15000 for sublimation and also regular printing, and I absolutely love this printer, so naturally I want to try it out with Eco-Solvent ink. And if you're looking for this printer, because it can be a bit elusive, you can look onto Office Depot very early in the morning, like between 6 and 8 o'clock, and sometimes they will have these printers listed on their sites. I got this printer from the Epson refurbished clearance website, so you may want to check that as well too. When they send these printers out, they're just like brand new. In addition to the printer and the ink, you will need material that you can print on. Now, Eco-Solvent is very much different than like DTF and sublimation. It's more so like vinyl still, because there is weeding involved. So you're going to be printing directly onto vinyl sheets, and so you will need a cutter so that you can cut your image out and remove the unnecessary vinyl. Okay, so today we are going to be using my CRICUT maker to get that done as well. So when getting vinyl for Eco-Solvent ink, you want to make sure that it is compatible with Eco-Solvent ink. Today we will be using Caesar Color Print Easy that I purchased from Heat Transfer Warehouse to get this done. This is Eco-Solvent compatible. And this is HTV, so we're going to be pressing this onto a shirt. Also, we have this vinyl, and this is printable vinyl sticker sheet that I got off of Amazon, and inside of the description it said that it was for Eco-Solvent, or it was compatible with Eco-Solvent, so we are going to try this out as well. What I don't have though is I don't have the masking for the Caesar Color Print Easy, but I'm so excited and I really want to try this out. So I do have some other masking that I use for other things, and we are going to see if that will work with this as well. Okay y'all, so that's pretty much everything that we will be using today, and so we are going to get ready and get started. Let's go. Now we're ready to take all of this tape off of this printer. You want to make sure that you open up the printer to get all of the tape out from the inside. You don't want to leave any tape left on there. Once all the tape has been removed, it is now time to put your ink in. And so you want to access your ink tanks, and now we are going to be putting this amazing ink from the Best Uni. A link will be listed in the description below inside of our ink tank. As you see, these tops do not fit the tops of our ink tank, so what you can do is use an old bottle, or you will just need to get some syringes and put your ink in with syringes. I am going to be using some ink bottles that I had left over from another printer, and I'm just going to place the top on those, and we are going to set this up like that as we would if this were regular ink. Now, do not put any of that ink that came with your printer into your printer. Just put it aside, throw it away. Don't throw it away. Sell it or something, but don't put it into your printer. You want to start out with the Eco-Solvent ink. All right, so right now I'm just filling up the bottle, and I am going to place the top on top, and we are going to be able to put this into our ink tank. I'm going to continue to repeat these steps with the other inks, but please note, be very careful with this ink. I find that this ink is super good, and also it kind of, not that it's stained, but it's not as easy to wipe up as other ink. So make sure that you go ahead and just follow safety, and you don't want to mess up any of your furniture. Okay, so we're all done, and we are going to close the ink tank, and then we are just going to go ahead and lift this up and place it back down. So now we need to plug it in and power it on. We're going to select English, USA, summer, month, date, year. Today is 6/18/22, and the time, we're going to do a 12-hour format, and it is 7:48. Right, so now it's telling us to set the transportation lock button or lock notch into printing position, and this is the transportation lock, and that's usually for when you're transporting your printer. And so now we need to flip it down so that it's in printing position. So with it being the other way in the lock position, your print head won't move. All right, so we're going to need it to move in order to charge this ink. All right, so now we have see the start here bundled with the printer or on website to complete the initialization. So next, what we need to do is press and hold the question mark. So if you're looking at your start here bundle, you're going to be doing the same thing. So we're going to press this for about 5 seconds. All right, so now this is our ink confirmation screen, and we're going to be getting ready to charge our ink. All right, so when filling, it's just saying about filling, we're going to click proceed, start initialization, confirm that the tank is filled with ink, done. And so this is going to take about 10 minutes. So we're going to let our printer do its work. All right, so now initialization is complete. Move on to print quality adjustment. Align the printer to get the best quality. All right, so I am going to put some paper. Actually, I want to adjust that. With the vinyl, I'll probably be printing from the back, but then adjust. Perform print head nozzle check. Print. Yes. All right, so that first nozzle check looks pretty decent, but there looks like a few lines in that blue. So depending on how comfortable you are with those few gaps missing, you could go ahead and do a print head cleaning and then do another nozzle check. Okay, y'all, so this is the vinyl that we're going to be using, and this is the Caesar Color Print Easy vinyl, and it's already cut in the size that we need. One side is matte, and the other side, it's not overly shiny, but there is a shine to it, and so we are going to be printing on the matte side. Okay, so you don't need to mirror your image. Okay, so now we're on the Epson website, and we already typed in the search toolbar the printer that we're going to be using today, and it's the Epson Ecotank 15000. And so you want to make sure you're under the support header, because that is where you will need to get the drivers and the software for your printer. All right, so today we are doing the Epson Ecotank 15000, and we are just going to click onto downloads. And now that we're here in downloads, the Epson system has already recognized the computer that I'm using. I am using a Mac OS, and so it pulled up the drivers and files that I need. So I am just going to go ahead and select drivers and utilities combo package installer. What you want to make sure is you download all of the drivers, because that is where you will be able to get all of the print setting options. Once you've downloaded the drivers and utilities, you want to locate that file on your hard drive and begin the process of installation. Just note that whenever you place ink that is not an Epson ink into your printer, that voids your warranty. So just take that into account when you are converting this printer or any other Epson printer into something that it is not intended for. All right, so we are going to continue this, and once this is done downloading and connected to my Wi-Fi, I am going to meet you all inside of CRICUT Design Space. Our printer is all downloaded, and now we are inside of CRICUT Design Space, and we are going to get ready to print this image. I got this image from off of Design Bundles, and I have already sized it to 9.25 by 6.75 so that we can print and cut this out on our CRICUT Maker 3. Okay, so now my mat looks good. I just need to select the CRICUT machine that we'll be using, and we are using the CRICUT Maker 3, and we're going to get ready to send this to the printer. Once we send this to the printer, we don't want to mirror anything. Do not mirror anything, okay? So I'm going to change this to the printer that we just installed, the Eco-Solvent, and I'm going to remove the add bleed, and then also I need to select the system dialog box. Sometimes that system dialog box will hide behind your CRICUT app if it's enlarged, so just look for it there. All right, and we are going to get ready to press print to set our settings. Once you select print, the print dialog box will open up, and now it's time to set your settings. So you need to decide whether you're going to be printing from the rear or the cassette, which is the front. For the print settings, I'm going to be leaving this at plain paper bright white just so that we can see the difference in the printing, and we are going to select quality for print quality. Next, head over to your color settings, and under the color settings, you'll be able to click onto advanced settings, and I'm going to change the mode to Adobe RGB and the gamma to a 2.2. This is similar to what I usually use for sublimation print, and I want to see how it is going to print out with this Eco-Solvent ink. All right, so let's get ready, and we are going to print this out. Now we're at the printer, and in real time it took about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes for this to print out, but it is looking beautifully. I have to say that this ink does have a smell to it, so you will definitely be able to smell this ink. However, it is printing beautifully, and those colors are amazing. All right, y'all, so this is our image, and I already placed it on a standard grid mat, and so we are just going to load our machine. And this is my first time cutting this material, so I am going to test this out with the everyday iron-on setting. Alright, so it's all done, and we are going to have to weed it out. Okay, y'all, so I decided to compare StarCraft and CRICUT. Right now, I am reducing the amount of space around the registration marks so that we can get a larger print on this 8.5 by 11 with the StarCraft Solo. Right, and so I am just going to go ahead and make sure that I am staying within the print margins, and just you really want to make sure that the registration marks are staying within the print margins, and that's what we're doing. And so on the right panel, you will be able to make sure that you have that selected so that you can see when you get ready to print and cut, because if not, you could have a total disaster. So now we're going to get ready to print and cut. Make sure that you always pay attention to that right side of the make screen so that you'll know how it's going to be placed. All right, so we are just going to adjust the print settings, and this time we are going to use premium presentation matte to match it up against that plain paper bright white, but everything else is staying the same. I'm not adjusting anything else outside of the media type. All right, so now we're going to get ready to print this out so we can see how it's going to look. Our StarCraft Solo is done cutting this material and we're about to weed it. And so weeding was super easy, y'all. This material is perfect. It weeds beautifully. I do want to note that next time I'd probably use a pressure of about 10, between 10 to 15. I used a pressure of 18, which was a little too much, not too much. It did not cut all the way through that backing, but I would lessen the pressure. And so everything came out really good and I love how this turned out. Look at that cut, y'all. It is perfection. So I am very, very happy with our print then cut for both the CRICUT and the StarCraft. After the calibration with the CRICUT, I was happy with it. All right, y'all. So now let's do a comparison. And both of these were the same size sheets of vinyl, but with the StarCraft, I was able to cut a larger image than I was with the CRICUT. The CRICUT is on top. Also, y'all, I don't know if you can tell, but I can't tell. There's no big difference in the color of those two images. So premium presentation mat or plain paper, they both printed beautifully with this ink. All right, so now we're going to get ready and transfer the vinyl over to this masking, and we are using rhinestone masking for the hot fix rhinestones. I don't recommend it. It's super, super tacky, but I needed to get this done. I wanted to test this out and I was not patient enough to wait. So now I'm going to go ahead and squeegee this, which I won't recommend if you're using this type of masking. Don't squeegee it, because honestly, that rhinestone masking has enough tack on it to just snatch that backing off without doing anything special to it. So as y'all see, it's kind of hard for me to peel that backing off. So I'm doing it very slowly because I don't want to ruin the print. And I'm just going to go ahead, peel this off. I'm going to do the same thing with the other print. The print that we're pressing now is the one that we cut with the CRICUT, and next we'll do the one that we did with the StarCraft Solo. So we're going to get ready to head over to the heat press, and of course you need to lint roll all of your shirts just to make sure you get any lint or any particles that may be on there. Also make sure to pre-press your shirt to get out any moisture that may be inside of that shirt. You want this to stick nicely. So now we're going to get ready to place that on there, and y'all, that image is so cute. Be salty. Those colors look nice. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and press this with the butcher paper. Well, that wasn't butcher paper, that was parchment paper. I pressed these shirts at 300 degrees for 15 seconds. All right, and so this is supposed to be a warm peel, but I am taking my time peeling it because y'all, that rhinestone masking is so sticky. But everything looks beautiful. I love how this turned out. Those colors look amazing on that white shirt. So vibrant and beautiful. I love it. I'm just going to go ahead and press it one more time. Kind of got a little bit used to that with DTF, making sure that the DTF was adhered to the shirts. And I wanted to see how that's going to look. And y'all, I actually love it. I think I'm going to look at that, y'all. That's so nice. Like, it looks like that ink is actually a part of the shirt. So let's go ahead and press the second one. But please remember, this is vinyl. It feels really, really good. It feels like a thin vinyl. Doesn't feel bulky or anything. So, you know, it's not going to be too heavy, but just know that this is, at the end of the day, this is still us printing on vinyl. All right, so now this is the StarCraft cut, and y'all, that looks good. I thought this shirt was going to be too bright of a color for our image, but it actually works out really good. It looks really nice. I like it, and that white outline really helps to set it off. All right, y'all, so that's it. We pressed our two Eco-Solvent shirts, and they look amazing. All right, y'all, so we are all done with converting our Epson Ecotank 15000 into an Eco-Solvent printer. Now, I don't really consider that a conversion. We're simply just putting the Eco-Solvent ink, and the ink we used will be listed in the description below. We use the Best Unis ink, but all you're doing is putting the Eco-Solvent ink inside of your ink tank instead of putting the ink that comes with the printer. And as you all saw, it was very seamless. Make sure that you download all of the drivers so that you can access all of the print settings, because that is the most important part in getting your prints to be the colors that you want it to be. Also, I'll have a link listed below in the description to Heat Transfer Warehouse for the Caesar Color Print Easy sheets that I purchased. I'll also have a link to the mask that is recommended for using with that vinyl. As you all saw, the rhinestone masking was a little too tacky for our project, so I don't necessarily recommend using it. It did get the job done, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend using it, and there may be alternatives for you to purchase on Amazon. I just haven't tried them yet. I am literally 2 hours into the Eco-Solvent community, so I don't have much information for you just yet. What I do know is that with Eco-Solvent, you need a cutter. And with this particular printer, it's a 13 by 19, well, it prints 13 by 19, and I want to be able to cut as large as I can with this printer, because if that's the case, I could have gotten a smaller format printer. So you want to make sure that you have a cutter that can cut larger. Okay, so I would recommend looking into cutters. For today, the CRICUT did work perfectly fine for us, but it was a smaller image. We had to go with the 6 3/4 by 9 1/4. But when we worked with the Solo, we were able to get it a little bit larger. You know, as long as it stayed within that page, we were able to make the image a little bit larger. So that's something that you do want to take into consideration when you are looking at getting Eco-Solvent. You are still going to be printing on vinyl and weeding. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how everything came out. These colors look amazing, and I'm excited to see what else I'm going to do with this Eco-Solvent printer and see what all I can get into. I do have that other printable vinyl that I want to use for making stickers, and we will be doing a video showing how to use that and how to make stickers using this Eco-Solvent printer and also our StarCraft Solo. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. In addition, head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join Craftable Things there as well. But that's going to be it for today, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.